Life on the hard. So this morning I'm heading to Auckland. I'm in Whangarei, which is in the north of New Zealand. I'm heading to Auckland, about 2 hours away, to have a look at a new motor for Tintin. So my motor either needs to be rebuilt or replaced, and I'm looking at replacing it. It's a 50-year-old motor. So the motor I'm looking at is a Yanmar 54 horsepower, second hand, but it's only done 220 hours, which is incredible. It's like it's nearly a 20-year-old motor, but it's pre-electronics, which I like. It's either that or probably a Kubota, I think. So, yep, I'm going to go down there. Before I do that, I've got to go and swap my hire car, because my hire car is leaking oil faster than you can pour the shit in. And so it seems, if it has a motor, it doesn't agree with me at the moment. My generator, which stopped working in Noumea, took that in for a service, and the stator is ruined. That's about $1,000 here. So new motor's $2,000, motor's old. So yeah, new generator as well. The Yanmar I'm looking at is about $6,000 second hand, but it has very, very low hours, incredibly low hours. So I'm going to go and do an inspection, compression test, check the bores, and see what's the deal with this motor. It seems too good to be true. New engine, equivalent size, about $25,000 for Tintin, what I'm ripping out, and but I could probably go to 42 horsepower. I don't think I need the 50s, so we'll see. See you on the road. Well, today is the day I ripped the engine out of Tintin. It's been an old, faithful BMC, but today it's going to come out. We took the alternator off, probably going to take the manifold off, or the heat exchanger. Maybe the fuel pump on the other side. Where am I at the moment? I'm just checking out the back. I've got to get all this timber housing off, which is a pain in the ass. And there's the gearbox down there. Probably separate the gearbox from the motor, make it a little easier to get out of the boat. Basically ripped all the housing off, and I'm currently pumping the oil out. I've drained the water, and I'm just starting to look at all of this superstructure, what needs to come off. It's never come off before, so yeah, just trying to work all that stuff out. There's the rest of my engine housing. So up until about an hour ago I was working underneath the floor, cleaning, giving it a good clean, sorting out a little bit more drainage in there. Got some condensation occasionally. Finished that off. Need room for more gear to go somewhere else. It's on a boat, we've got no room, ever. So yeah, that's my current project, is pulling the engine out. I have a new engine to go in. It's a Yanmar 54 horsepower. Still chasing a gearbox, but need this engine to be gone before I can even think about putting a new one in. Measure it up, clean it, add more sound insulation, modify anything else that needs to be modified. Yeah, there's a myriad of things I need to do, and some of which I have no idea that I need to do them yet. So that's the project today. Not really sure even what day it is anymore, so trying to get the motor out. Only really started yesterday, so I've got a new motor coming, and this one has to leave. So yeah, I've been ripping it all apart. I'm taking parts off to try and make it smaller and lighter to get out through the hatch. But yeah, it's a big old motor. This is a old Leyland. It's not huge in size, but it's pretty damn weighty. So I'm stripping parts off to get the weight down. Pretty much got the whole thing disconnected except for that Morse cable. And then I'm going to take pretty much all the cables off. I'm going to take the heat exchanger off. Took the alternator off yesterday. Got all of the bolts off, all the mounts off, or undone. So yeah, it's slowly getting there. The problem with boats is all you're doing is you're working in shitty little spaces, and it's hard work. My back is killing me. This particular job here is, you know, the drive couplings were difficult to get off. They were difficult to get on previously, but we got them all out yesterday. My back is killing me because of it. I've got to disconnect the gearbox from the motor. The gearbox itself must weigh 70 kilos, I reckon. Like most gearboxes are probably 10-15. This thing is a massive lump of steel. Massive. So that is another challenge. I've got a few of the other fittings off, oil coolers and bits and pieces. So yeah, today I'm going to try and crack the motor in half. I'm going to have to lift it, I think, first. Lift it and block it before I can take the gearbox off. That in itself is its own little challenge. But yeah, getting there. It is a process, and I haven't pulled apart a boat motor before, so yeah. Also got to get all the frame off, which is not so difficult to do. There's only a few bolts and screws, but like everything, they've been there for a long time, so they're pretty well stuck together. But yep, that is my task, is to do that today. And before that, I'm going to do breakfast. So I'm living on the boat whilst I'm doing all this, which saves money, but it's a pain in the arse. You know, like you're just living in a mess. Gets you down a bit. So, but I'll start the day. Bacon, eggs, coffee, or maybe tea, and then I'm looking for a gearbox. So the gearbox I thought I had is a bit on the expensive side, I've discovered, after they couple it with all the bits and pieces. So I'm now looking. Well, it's even cheaper to buy a new gearbox than what I was getting quoted for a second-hand one. It's ridiculous. So I've got the Yanmar dealer looking for a second-hand box, or I'll just go and buy a brand new one and put it in. And the problem with a lot of the Yanmar stuff is they have parallel boxes, which is just straight, and then they have downward angle, 7 or 8 degree downward angle for different yacht configurations. And that's okay, but most of the ones on the second-hand market appear to be downward angle, and I need a parallel straight box. Well, I think so. I could be wrong. I could maybe fit a parallel box. I don't think so, though. This is pretty much looks like it's been aligned to be a straight drive, which makes more sense. And there's my little workstation over there. It's the nav station / junk station / computer station. So yeah, I'm going to be back on the phones shortly after breakfast to Yanmar dealers, see if I can source a second-hand box, save myself a couple of $1,000, or I'll wait till the motor turns up and then I'll order the new gearbox, which is a pretty straightforward process. But you're losing money all the time, and I'm trying to do this on the cheap. I'm trying to save myself some money. I don't like giving my money away. I like it to be in the bank or earning interest. And the longer I can keep the money in the bank, the longer I can go sailing. If I keep giving it away to new equipment, then I'll have to go back to work. And no one wants that, particularly not me. So yeah, that is my challenge, to get this motor changed over for less than half of a new motor. And hopefully it doesn't bite me on the arse. Not yet anyway. Alright, see you later on. Well look, we're in the same spot. Still working the engine. At this stage I'm making progress. So I've got a little 3-to-1 pulley system rigged up to my sheet winch, which I'm lifting the back of the engine. And yeah, it's under strain, but it's doing the job. I've got a block underneath the engine, so now I can crack off the gearbox. Get the gearbox off. I think the gearbox is probably going to weigh 50 kilos. I'm going to lower the engine onto that block of timber, which will support the back of the engine. The front of the engine's supported on, these blocks down here. Get the gearbox off, and then hopefully I can get the engine out through the hatch. It's going to be bloody tight. I may have to take off the head or the sump. I'm not sure which is worse, but I'm going to give it a try. Once I get the gearbox off, I think I've got a better chance of getting the engine out. It's yeah, it's pretty tight. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Like it's probably been 6 hours of work, just undoing bolts, trying to get to access to things. These are always the shitty jobs. This is why I'm doing it myself, because if I was paying for someone in the yard to do it, I'm paying $100 an hour for someone to do shit labouring jobs. And I could do shit labouring jobs because I'm here anyway. So I might as well do the shit work myself and get the engine stripped apart so that it can be taken out through the hatch. All I need then is a forklift or something to haul it up through the hatch, block and tackle, maybe on the end of a forklift jib, and then I could prop it on a pallet, and then I'll put it on the ground, have a look at it. I'll probably just list it for sale. If I can't sell it, then I'll be giving it away. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at. The all-day engine saga. These things never go smoothly, and they never go quickly, and there is always not enough room. I'm always amazed. I'm saying always a lot, but I'm always amazed when people put in engines just how fucking difficult they make it to either service them or maintain them. Like I was going to pull the starter motor off, because the starter motor probably weighs 5-10 kilos by itself. Big old thing. Couldn't even get access to it. So if I had to get access to that in the field, that would have been a pain in the ass. Real pain in the ass. So yeah, that wasn't very well thought about at all. Thankfully I haven't had that problem, but I've had to pull that bloody gearbox coupling, shaft coupling off several times, and whoever invented that needs to be taken out and beaten with a stick. It is a shit design. Works okay, but oh my god, what a nightmare trying to put it on and off. Anyway, enough of my whinging and bitching, it's back to work for me. Well, small successes, hour by hour. Just got the gearbox off the engine. Engine is completely free. I'm still not sure it's going to fit out through the hatch. That's damn tight, damn tight. So we're getting close to that. Let me show you. Wait 1 minute. Need a head torch. It's almost flat. All right, there's the old gearbox. I just got that off. I think it must weigh at least 50 kilos. It's heavy as fuck. But, yeah, the engine's sitting on a timber beam. Little block and tackle there. That's my mizzen. I don't even know what it is anymore. I'm too tired. Yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. Up through the hatch, up through this hatch. I've got the boom rigged with a 4-to-1 back to the winch. So I don't know if I'm going to get out there with a 4-to-1. I think it's probably a little underdone. I'd almost need to do a 2-to-1 with a 4-to-1 to lift 200 kilo engine. Could probably get it up there, but you know, there's risk of something breaking. There's still risk of something breaking. My lithium batteries live underneath that hatch, so I'm fucking shit scared of doing something on them. So I'm going to have to protect that engine bay. Maybe disconnect them all. Put a couple of big lumps of timber over the top of it to make it reinforced in case something does break. Yeah, fun times, eh? But yeah, it's, oh my god, it's so close. I think the engine still is too big to come out. Like either the head's got to come off, or the oil pan has to come off. One of the two. That's my gut feeling. Anyway, getting closer. Well, cheers. Another day down, and this afternoon, after working on the motor, separating the gearbox, I decided to drop off my Genoa. So I tore my Genoa up in Vanuatu. It's just the luff started to separate. It's not super bad. The sail's in pretty good condition actually. It's the UV strip is deteriorating, and not sure the best approach, whether to take the old UV strip off, put a new one on, or just put a protection piece down the luff, reinforce it. I'm going to give it to the sail maker to have a look. Still cheaper than getting a new Genoa, and which a lot of people would do. But you know, every year I take my jib and my Genoa in and get them restitched. So I have a jib without a UV strip, which I use to beat up into the tropics or across the Southern Ocean. So it stays on for a month, maybe 6 weeks. Then I get there and I rip it off, and I put the Genoa on, which has got a UV strip. And also have a jib with a UV strip if I'm sailing in, you know, it's a lighter jib actually, but it's handy for sailing in, you know, places where the weather's a bit heavier. But I don't use it on trips because it's a bit light. I like to have a fairly heavy jib. But yeah, he wasn't open, and I'm also going to get a connecting piece between my Binamai and my awning, so I need to get that quoted. Dropped in at the Yanmar place, and wrangling, trying to find a second-hand gearbox. So I'm chasing a KM35P, which is a manual mechanical gearbox for this particular motor. And just so happens we've managed to find one, but not second-hand. It's brand new. It was still cheaper than the second-hand box I was looking at. So crazy. But yeah, about 4,800 I think I'm up for. Which is not what I wanted. I wanted to try and pick up a gearbox for about 1,500. There's plenty of them out there, but they've all got a downward angle, and I need a straight gearbox, which was called a parallel. But these are the frustrations. So I've been ringing Australia as well. I've just been putting the feelers out. There's a few in America, but you know, by the time you freight it across it, and then you don't know what you're getting. So yeah, it becomes problematic. You know, you're buying a second-hand box. If I can get one with low hours, then it's not so bad. You know, like the engine, I'm pretty confident it's got low hours. It's just a shame it's a sail drive. So, but I do have an SD50 sail drive for sale if you want one. It's done 212 hours. So I'm hoping that the actual sail drive's in good nick and there's not too much corrosion. And I'm told that I can sell that for about, you know, about $2,000. People buy them and put them as spare because the SD50s have problems. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can sell it, or I might just give it to the EMR people and put it on consignment and just split the profit. At the end of the day, I mean, you know, it's better to sell it than give it away. Make some profit rather than nothing. But yeah, life goes on. A couple of rumbos to finish the day. At the end of the day, you're just knackered. Like at the moment, we're coming into summer here, so it's quite late. It's nearly 8 o'clock. It's still light. I should be working, but yeah, just exhausted. Working in the bottom of the bilge, sweating like a pig, is hard work. Just getting cramped over. It's really hard work. It's punishing. And I've been doing that all day. So yeah, about 3 o'clock, I thought, fuck it, let's have a shower, go out, do some stuff, go to the pub, have a beer, relax. I probably should have gone for a walk, but by the time I got to the sailmaker and the mechanic, it was beer o'clock. So here I am, back on the boat, on my pack alone. Solo boat life. It's not so bad when you're sailing and you're an anchor somewhere, but it fucking sucks when you're busting your gut trying to fix things. That's when it becomes a pain in the ass. That's when, it'd be nice to have a few mates around who are mechanics and handy fuckers. But no, I'm fortunate the yard I'm in is there's a lot of good people, super experienced, and that's why I came here, because they're really, really good mechanics here, and good advice, solid advice, no bullshit, and I value that. Most of the work I need to do is, it's a little bit of cosmetic, major mechanical. I need to buy a couple of winches. I've repaired one of my winches in Port Villa. I didn't repair the other one. I thought it'd be alright, and it shit itself on the way back, so I could repair it. Maybe I can get 12 months out of the 2 winches. I tried to pick up a second-hand pair. Haven't found any good quality stainless second-hand winches. If I was in America, they'd be probably plentiful, but New Zealand doesn't have too many cyclones, so they don't ride off boats. You need a place where there's boats that are getting written off in cyclones or storm damage. But here, it's relatively calm. So I think I'm probably going to go for something like the Lumars. There's about $1,300 Australian for, I think it's about a 38 winch self-tailing, which is about the size I need. It's more the size of fitting where the other winch was, and those winches have done a lot of hard sailing, but the aluminium winches, salt water, they've corroded, which pisses you off because you think that the products they would use would be suitable for this environment and they would last. And I pull them apart and I clean them regularly every 6 months or more, depending on how much hard sailing I'm doing. Down here you get a lot of waves crashing over the cockpit, so you need to clean things, and I do that. I pull them down, I wash them out with Kero, I lubricate them with good quality lubricating greases, and CRC them every now and again just to keep make sure they're lubricated when I'm sailing. I haven't got time to rip them down. But yeah, that's life. It's just it's a boat. It takes every cent of money that you have and more. Money you don't have, it takes that as well. That's why they call them she's and hers, because they consume everything. They look pretty. Got big asses. They swagger when they're on the ocean. Very much like a woman. So yes, they do consume a reasonable amount of money at times. Thankfully, most of the time this season I've been fortunate, apart from engine troubles. I've had a fuck ton of engine troubles this season. It's been very, very frustrating. I've learned a lot about engines I don't want to learn. It hasn't been successful because I'm now in the process of ripping it out. But again, that's life, boat life. So I'm back to my rumbo. I'm going to watch a movie tonight. I'm going to sleep like a log, and then I'm going to get up and do it all again. See you next time. Well, we're in the process of getting the engine out of the boat. So I have my main sheet block and my mizzen block, both being used to good effect. One's a 3-to-1, one's a 4-to-1. And back to my main winches, because I haven't been able to get hold of the chap with the block and tackle. So I'm just winching the fucker out without it. But it is, I think it's bigger than the hole. You know, that is my trouble. It is bigger than the hole. Challenge. That hole needs fur on it. But, no, today is a day of Rubik's Cube problems and challenges and working out how the fuck to get that engine out of the hatch. Do I take the head off? Do I take the sump off? The flywheel is almost as low as the sump, so logical, take the head off if I can't get it out through the first way. Do I take the fucking head off before I take it up there and waste my time? Yeah, these are the things I don't know. It'd be handy to have another set of hands to make this shit easier. I don't have another set of hands. That's the challenge of solo sailing. Boat wife would be handy right now. But would the boat wife still be here? Or would she go like, fuck that, that's dirty and greasy and horrible, I'm out of here, dude. Often the problem. So here we are, ripping an engine out by yourself with lots of mechanical advantage. That's why you study at school, boys and girls, so you learn mechanical advantage and other useless shit that someday becomes useful. Alright, onwards and upwards. Well, we are getting closer. Very, very close. Very, very, very close. But I think something has to give. I'm not sure we're going to make it. Something may have to come off. Or the head. Maybe the gasket cover. Or maybe even just the bolts. It's damn close. It's damn close. But we're getting there. Now I've got to change block and tackle instead of using my 4-to-1s. It's remarkably easier. Oh my god. Should have done that before. But yes, the engine cannot live in the hatch. It's very inconvenient. So I'm going to continue. Alright. Catch you in a bit. Well, we've fucking cracked the back. Cracked the fucking back, dudes. Oh my god. And this is the only downside. Well, many downsides. Not having an engine's one of them. Coming up through the front hatch is another. Getting old and less flexible is a pain in the fucking ass. But here we are. One fucking engine. My god. This is better than the first time I got laid. So fucking rewarding. And here we go. Come to Papa. You know you want it. You know you want it. Come on. Come on out. Oh my god. How fucking good is that? Oh my god, how damn good is that? What to do next? Well, another little block and tackle. Haul it this way. Plank of wood to put it on so I don't ruin any more. I've already busted some timber work, which is not fun, but that's the least expensive part of the whole deal. I can always replace timber and fiddles and stuff. Right, this is my fender plank, so I use this when I'm when I'm fending off sea walls and things like that up in Papua New Guinea and places like that where everything's garbage. But it comes in handy for obviously other things. Not many things. Never thought I'd be slinging an engine onto it. But there you go. 150-year-old plus engine, which has pretty much done its dust. There you go, people. We have got the back of this motherfucker cracked. Now I've got to clean up. I've got to get off the boat yet. That's a whole different challenge. But I'm not worried about that as much as I was getting it out the hatch. Okay, back to work. Okay, well, engine is out. It's been very, very rewarding. As I said earlier, better than the first time I had sex. It was an awesome feeling. So that's where it should be. And that's where it is, hanging over the side of the boat. Off the boom, I've got a block and tackle, and I've just rigged it up to a lowering line. So I'm using a Munter hitch, which is like an Italian hitch. Just down to carabiner onto the block. That's a 900 kilogram tubular tape. It's pretty strong stuff. Motor's only a couple hundred kilos. Carabiners are made for a couple of thousand kilos. I'm taking that back to a winch and lock, and I'm just going to lower that down onto the ground. So let's do that shit. Boatyard is busy as here, so trying to get people is a challenge, and we're just going to try and do as much of this ourselves as we can. Okay. If this all goes pear-shaped, well, it's an old engine anyway. Now it's just hanging in space. Alright. What could possibly go wrong? All one-handed, of course, because that's what we do when we're solo sailing. Alright, something's going on. I'm just going to put it down for a tick. Okay, back up. There we go. That was sure as fuck not pretty, but engine is now on the ground. Oh, what a fucking day, hey? What a fucking day. There we go, one perfectly good engine. That was the first half. Now I've just got to get the second half out, which is a gearbox. And that ain't any lighter either. Well, yeah, 50 kilos. I don't think I've ever lowered something on a Munter hitch quite that heavy. There we go.